keep me waiting down here, so far below, staring up from the bottom, up from the bottom. I'll try escaping, but there's nowhere to go. Staring up from the bottom, up from the bottom. Each time I hold my fists up.
The fallout of Shoot Your Shot takes place tonight, and the road to the next Lioness live event, Hellbound, begins tonight. I'm the troublemaker Chloe James at your service for this evening, and here tonight we will indeed be seeing the fallout and the road to Hellbound begin tonight, as yes indeed we will be hearing from the new number one contender for the Lioness Championship in Catra. We will also, however, be seeing in action Utena Tenjou face off against Asuka. Utena Tenjou face off in action tonight, and then later on tonight, Asuka and the number one contender for the SolarStar title in Road Kamelot do battle tonight. Oh boy, alright, let's get this out of the way real quick. Looks like we're not wasting any time on one of the announcements for this evening. As yes, at Shoot Your Shot, Ellie Williams did indeed falter to the NEWTYPE's leader in Catra. And as a result of that, Catra will indeed be facing off against the Lioness champion Ashe for the title at Hellbound. And here's the thing about this. Here's the thing regarding this. Catra can definitely make the claim that she did it all on her own, but in regards to the sneaky tactics that she used in order to get to that position, I would argue that she didn't do it as good as Asuka did. At least she was on point with using Holly and Miyu. Now Catra's trying to be all like she's the better one out of all of them, simply because that she did something without having to rely on Miyu and Holly. And you know what? Good for you, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still a sneaky little brat. Of course, we're gonna hear from her now. Catra, I don't know about you, but the champ isn't exactly someone that you really want to call out like that. And coming off a massive win at Shoot Your Shot against Chloe Price, where she took her to the absolute limit and won against the Arcadia Bay Killer, I want to make this perfectly clear right now. Ashe is not in the mood to be trifled with, especially after a big win, and she is just staring a hole right through Catra, making it clear that she heard her words loud and clear, and I don't think she's gonna take it lying down for good measure.
What was that you were saying about being able to beat this damn rebel down there, you little kitty? I'm right here with my belt and just waiting for you to try and even touch me at this point. What's wrong? Too scared now that you got the real deal in front of you? After all that talk the last few weeks, you're not wanting to sick your little wounds onto me or even throw a punch yourself? You talked all big for a month and a bit, and this is all you gotta do in return. Are you really the big cat you say you are? Or are you just a pussy?
I can't believe what I'm seeing here in regards to this, but the champion just got rattled by Catra not doing a damn thing. And yeah, sure, mind games and everything like that. We're no strangers to mind games here in ACL, but let's be clear about something here. The champ just got played by mind games by Catra, and she didn't even have to do a goddamn thing in order to get inside her head. Like, Ashe, is this really the thing that you want to do leading in to your defense against her? But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, after that frankly interesting encounter between champion and challenger for the Lioness title at Hellbound, we now get you to our opening contest of the evening, which I did mention before does include Utena Tenjou facing off against Roxy Richter. And while Roxy has definitely been on an interesting tear within the division as of late, especially within her recent efforts to get into the Shoot Your Shot tournament and her interesting and tepid relationship in the ring against the likes of Ellie Williams, who went on to not win the Shoot Your Shot tournament, tonight you have to imagine that she is looking to try and reestablish herself. But in that same vein, here is someone who is definitely wanting to reestablish herself in her own right with that one. And that, in fact, is the revolutionary girl herself, Utena Tenjou. Now, Utena has definitely had a bit of an interesting season and a half, her only loss truly coming from losing against Tsubaki, the current SolarStar champion, at the Grand Slam for the SolarStar title. Since then, she's been reestablishing herself with win after win. And you have to imagine that tonight, with everything going with her tonight, you have to imagine that Utena Tenjou is trying to get herself back into position of being a dominant effort right here in the Lioness division, and tonight may be a part of that. And there we go, setting it up for our first contest of the evening here tonight here on Lioness Live 26, as Utena Tenjou and Roxy Richter face off against each other. Realistically, the stakes involved are simply trying to re-establish themselves after some interesting situations in the past few months. And you have to imagine as Utena goes for the big moves right off the bat! Right there with a suplex at the top of the rope with that one. That she is not wanting to give Roxy even an inch in this contest, sending her right there to the hammerlock position, and laying her down flat as a result of that one. And this is realistically the thing. And I said this before in regards to Roxy Richter specifically with this one. Roxy in particular has made a clear-cut statement since the beginning of the season that she is not to be trifled with. And we have seen her realistically pull out all of the stops with this one in competition. Like, despite her losses in the past and despite everything, she's proven that despite everything, she cannot be understated with this one, and she's pulling it out immediately against Utena Tenjou. And this is really the thing you've got to take into account with facing off against Utena for certain. You gotta wear her down first, because if you give Utena any room to breathe in that regard, she will absolutely fuck you up. And this is realistically the thing. Utena's strength can only get her so far with this one. In regards to everything else, Roxy pretty much has her stacked up against the ropes with this one. And you can see it right now with the way she's wearing her down bit by bit and sending her through the ringer at this point in regards to the strength. In regards to the strength and power involved in this one here, but using her agility and her finesse in the ring, her more leaner approach to fighting in the ring, and God, a double stop for the top of the rope right there, going for the pin now. One. Once again, only netting her a 1 in this regard. And now Roxy flinging Utena into the ropes. Arm drag, sending her down onto the ropes there, but oh God, going for the short kicks right there and slamming her down face first onto the mat. And now the knee smash right there onto the face of Utena Tenjou. Definitely not a good sign right there for Utena. And Roxy setting her up, and it's not looking good here. Going off the ropes and flinging her away for the pounce. And 1, 2, only netting her a 2 count with that one, unfortunately. Only netting her a 2 count. Referee getting in the way with that one. Going all around and with a hard-hitting enziguri for good measure right into the corner with that one. Once again, utilizing her speed and agility to her advantage, and that velocity on the enziguri said it all, really. Utena has pretty much been on the defense for the most part in this matchup at this point. And now, Utena looking to try and fight back against Roxy Richter with this one, and the float over. Oh! 1, 2. Going over there with a float over powerbomb just like that. And now, setting it up for the full revolution. 1, 2. No! Only a 2 count right there from Utena again. The Absolute Destiny Apocalypse Bomb right into the full revolution does not net Utena the win here. And now once again, Utena having to work her way up for the brink at this point, having been on the defensive position for the majority of this contest here, now having to wear her down bit by bit. And now Utena going up top, and no, the elbow drop denied right there onto Roxy Richter. Roxy, on the other hand, slowly bringing it back into her control. And you have to be thinking to yourself at this one here now, no! Utena getting out of it. And the hard-hitting strikes. Hard-hitting strikes from both of these women here, trading blow for blow at this point here, trying to basically see who has the harder-hitting finesse and style, and the harder-hitting strikes between both of these women at this point. And right now, it's an even matchup between both Utena and Roxy Richter at this point here. But one of them has to give way first. Otherwise, we could be in it for the long haul for the strikes there. And I can see Roxy. No, there we go. Setting it up. And yep, there we go. There we go. There we go. Wailing in the strikes. They has fight indeed against one another. But Utena with the hard-hitting lariat right there to clean up shop right there onto Roxy. And Utena wailing down now onto the body of Roxy Richter. Continuing to trade her blow for blow and going for a single knee going for the single knee camel clutch right there. And right now, Roxy getting out of dodge with that one, sending Utena right into the corner, and wait a minute, what on earth is she faking? And oh, God, a big brute right into the corner with that one. Right now, Roxy just absolutely going in for the face wash and the big boot right there into the corner again. Again! Right there. And now, splash setting down right onto Utena just like that. And Roxy clearly in control of this matchup once again. It is not looking good for Utena Tenjou at this point right now. And wait a minute, going for it one more time, rebounding off the ropes with the pounce! And you gotta be thinking, that has to be it, right? That has to be it. 1, 2, 3, no! Even Roxy thought she had it that time. Even Roxy thought that she had it that time. But no! Going right in for the assaults once again right there onto Utena Tenjou. Going up top for the double foot stomp. No! Double foot stomp denied from the top of the rope. And those velocity moves from the top of the rope to the outside, they can be dangerous if performed correctly. But instead, Roxy focusing her efforts to kick or be kicking right to the chest of Utena Tenjou. Roxy, once again, Roxy and Utena trading blow for blow at this point here. Going blow for blow between each other at this point. And Utena going right back, and no! Roxy getting the advantage, putting those legs to good use at this point. And once again, slamming Utena right back down onto the ropes. Roxy has once again taken full advantage of this contest. And has maintained control pretty much all matchup here. You have to wonder at this point, however, when that agility will come back to bite her in the ass. I was about to say that time would have been around about now, but no. Utena, on the other hand, once again, no. No, she's about to go for it again, setting up Utena one more time for the pounce. Now, 3 pounces. That has to be it, right? Roxy, you're wasting time here trying to nail her down. 1, 2, 3. No! Once again, only a 2 count. That had to have been 2.9 at least with that one. And once again, setting down Roxy just like that. Utena setting her back up again. And wait a minute, Hammerlock DDT right there by Utena Tenjou. And now you can see she ain't playing around. Wait a minute, no, Roxy realizing she was going to be sent into the corner for the full revolution. And wait a minute, face wash with a big boot right into the corner. Big boot right into the corner. Roxy, however, has to be thinking, going for those kicks again onto Utena, the continued kicks, putting her variable best asset to work there against Utena Tenjou. And no, Utena takes advantage of it, takes advantage of that one opening with that one. No, however, Roxy getting right back up. Flinging her off the ropes with that one, and the arm drag, nailing her down with that one. Arm drag, nailing her down onto the ropes and going right back to those kicks, but no, Utena chopping her just like that, setting her up, puts her in the corner, and that might be it. Setting it up one more time for a full revolution. 1, 2, 3. And that was a hard-hitting, hard-fought contest with the Revolutionary Girl. But Utena Tenjou once again nets a big win tonight over Roxy Richter. Once again nailing one big win and re-establishing herself as one of the most dominant efforts within the division. And that's for damn certain. But I don't think we're done from Utena Tenjou just yet. She's calling for a microphone there.
It's been a rough couple months for me since losing to Sabaki in December. I thought coming off a loss like that, it'd be easy for me to bounce back somehow, and be able to fight for that belt again, or even fight for the big Lioness title itself. But I've taken a few licks here and there, and it's not been sitting well with me. But I'm not about to let that get me down, or dissuade me from pushing forward. A prince isn't someone who gives up just because they lose a few things here and there, and this division needs one more than ever. And even if I have to work my way through the toughest of this division to prove it, I will become a champion. Somehow, someway.
Confident words as always from the revolutionary girl, and tonight, she has once again made her statement clear. We welcome you back after one hell of an opening right here on Lioness Live. And we're about to get set for another round of tag team action right here tonight. And you can definitely see it right here and now. As Luz No Cena and Amity Blight Lumity, two women who have made a mark since coming in at the early part of this season as part of the Lioness tag team scene. And you can see it in the face of both of them here tonight. That tonight, after failing to lose the Lioness, after failing to win the Lioness tag titles back at Rebound, and after Amity Blight's failure to get into the SolarStar Championship shoot your shot tournament, you have to imagine that Lumity in particular here tonight have to reestablish themselves as a tag team together, as a unit. Because you have to imagine that despite everything, these two specifically have a lot to prove after some major pitfalls in the road. And it looks as though the team that they'll be facing off against have a variable history all on their own with this one. And almost as if to tease and taunt them, Ultimate Yandere are practically mirroring their entrance from Lumity. I'll say this: Ultimate Yandere, Yuno Gasai, and Junko Enoshima, two women who variably have been known to play mind games with their opponents in the past. These, you can definitely tell if there's anyone in regards to this one. Definitely in regards to what we have seen in the past from Ultimate Yandere, tonight, one could argue that this is playing the mind games on them in full force to try and get into their head before they get into the ring with them. Say what you will, this is one hell of a way to get into the mind of their opponents, but will it pay off when they get into the ring with them, is what everyone is thinking at this point. And here we go, we're underway. Yuno and Luz starting it off right here for both members of their respective teams. And Luz immediately trying to gain the upper advantage, going up against Yuno at this point. But Yuno, on the other hand, pulling out the vicious style that she has been known for breaking out in the past. Absolutely, completely giving Luz the business right here in the opening minutes of this match. Like, Luz definitely had a moment or two where she was seemingly gaining some level of assault right there into the matchup, but Yuno immediately, no! Luz saw that one coming, literally could see that one coming. And now going right back onto the assault, diving in place, and no, wait a minute, Junko coming in to wail down onto Luz Nocita at this point. And here comes Junko sending Luz right into the ropes, and no! Yuno Gasai barreling down onto Amity Blight. Both members of Ultimate Yandere just absolutely going ballistic onto Lumity here in these opening minutes of the match. And Yuno once again going for those hard hitting strikes right there. No! Planting her down just like that, but Luz is already back up, ready to take names like nobody's business. Going right back onto it, and no! The handspring going right for it again, and now Luz going back onto the assault. And Luz taking advantage of it again, going right back onto the assault, sending Yuno into her corner now, making the tag to Amity Blight just like that. And the drop kicks, planting her down just like that for good measure as well. And now Luz, having made the tag to Amity, Amity now taking full advantage and going right onto, absolutely going onto the assault, but Junko makes the tag regardless. And now Junko, despite everything, Amity focusing her efforts right onto the assault of Yuno, but maybe she's not focusing her efforts hard onto who matters the most with that one. As right now, Amity Blight needs to focus her efforts right there onto Junko. Now she's definitely focusing on them with that one. But you gotta be thinking to yourself here, did she focus too hard on the wrong one as she goes for the pin? One! Only getting a 1 for her efforts with that one. Now, this is why you gotta focus hard on Junko and Oshiba there, because this bitch will go right for the jugular. She'll get right back up like it's nothing. Hard-hitting clothesline for good measure. And another hard-hitting clothesline right there by Amity Blight. Continuing to go for the assault, continuing to try and wear down Junko with her assault bit by bit here tonight. Going for the wild combination of strikes right there. And now, wait a minute! Right there, schoolboy right into the schoolboy. Technically a schoolgirl, given who was using it. And right there into the super kick, and now Amity setting it up for a sliced bread just like that. And what on earth is Amity thinking here with this one? Sending up Junko into the corner, making the tag to Luz and getting a punch right to the gut for good measure. Junko has definitely had a lot of the tide turned against Ultimate Yandere in this match. Lumity, on the other hand, have definitely reversed their fortune in a way. Tilt-a-whirl DDT for good measure as well. And now making the tag right there to Yuno Gasai again. Yuno, on the other hand, oh god! Choke side sweep slam, sending down Luz Nocita. And once again, oh god! Face smash right onto the knee. Now Yuno sending Luz into the corner. This isn't looking good here, but wait a minute, no, Luz seeing the situation for herself. Getting out of dodge just like that. Focusing her efforts away for one moment. And wait a minute, 1, 2, no, only a 1 count. This is the thing now, Yuno in the corner, and it's not looking good for Ultimate Yandere there. They've pretty much been on the back burner ever since Amity took control of the match for Lumity at this point here. But now Yuno thinking that she has to make a damn conservative effort to try and wear down on Luz Nocita at this point. Tripping her down and all stepping all over Luz Nocita just like that. Dragging her into the corner now and just absolutely brutalizing her into the corner, and it is not looking good. Throwing her into the corner again and just taking full advantage and absolutely brutalizing Luz Nocita just like that. Yuno making the tag right to Junko again. Junko practically begging for her to get back up with that one and get back into the ring. Just taunting all the way into the ring right now. Practically just biding her time at this point here. But Luz, no! Springboard drop. It does not hit the target. Junko, on the other hand, simply taunting away still. And Junko continuing. Wait a minute, no, Luz. Luz, on the other hand, getting back into position just like that. And Luz setting up Junko again. And wait a minute. And no! Junko gets out of the way. Junko reverses it. And wait a minute. Setting it up right there. And no! God! Not looking good on the part of Lumity at this point here, who were safely into position. And no! And the split-legged crunch just like that. And now making the tag, and wait a minute, good lord. What on earth is happening here? Is this gonna be it? Here it comes. Oh god, here it comes, Luz. Dead end! Dead end hits the target just like that, and Yuno Gasai going up top. 2. No! Only a 2 right there after the dead end. Now going up top. Oh god, looking for that brainbuster from the top of the rope. This has proven to be a hard-hitting assault right there. And oh god! No future in mind for Luz Nocita as she hit that brainbuster from the top of the rope. And now just softening up Luz Nocita, who's taking a brunt of damage at this point. But that won't stop her from going back into the fray one more time. Setting her into the corner now, knowing that there's no hesitation in play with this one. Making the tag. And Amity setting it up into place. It's not looking good, but no! Amity cannot make any mistakes at this point here. It is not looking good on the part of Lumity at this point here. If she wants to maintain the position at this point here, Lumity has to gain some level of getting back into position at this point, because it is not looking good for them. Let's be clear about this here. And no, Amity back up and running at this point here. Running with it for good measure. And wait a minute. Oh, neckbreaker right there by Amity Blight. But Amity, you've realistically got to find a way to get back here. You have got to find a way to get back into position. Sending up. Putting Junko into the corner now. Oh god, and a 4-up strike right there by Junko onto Junko Enoshima. And Amity Blight. You have to be thinking to yourself here. Flinging Junko into the corner now and a drop kick for good measure. And oh god, a lariat right there by Junko one more time. 1, 2, only netting a 2 count for her efforts. And here's where I start thinking to myself, if I'm in the position that these two, that Luz and Amity are in right now, I gotta be thinking of a way, and oh, wait a minute. Distractions. Junko unable to get the misdirection clothesline done. Leaving the door open for Amity once again for another slice spread in the middle of the ring. And what on earth is she thinking here? Sending up Junko into the corner. And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Looking to set up Junko for the Titans Fall! Titans Fall right there by Lumity, right there onto Junko Enoshima. Is this going to be enough? 1, 2, 3! Despite taking the brunt of the damage here tonight, Luz Lucida gets the win right here for her and Amity Blight against Junko Enoshima and Yuno Gasai, and gets the win tonight. A surprising victory over Ultimate Yandere just like that. And it all came down to the Titans Fall, like right at the end with that one. But you have to imagine that this is a big win for Lumity, getting themselves back on track for sure. Who knows? Maybe even tag title contention might be back in store for them if they keep this momentum up over time. We won't know until it comes, but I would argue that this is a big road back to the top for the both of them for sure. We welcome you back here tonight to Lioness Live 26. And we get set for your main event of the evening, as Futamaki Ninja Asuka is looking to establish herself once again as a member of the Lioness division. arguably one of the longest standing members of the Lioness division. And I think we can definitely put that on the record here, that she has been one of the variable gatekeepers since she came in on her first night and won the Lioness Championship. Tonight, however, you have to imagine that for Asuka, this is about re-establishing herself and getting another win here after some very considerable losses. But unfortunately, her opponent has seemingly been on a hot streak as of late. As you can see, the current #1 contender for the Lioness SolarStar Championship in Road Kamelot, who bested Yukiko Amagi at Shoot Your Shot to get that championship opportunity. And you can see that, especially from the look on the face of Road Kamelot on her own, that Road Kamelot has basically been on a hot streak since winning back-to-back matches and now winning the Shoot Your Shot tournament. You now have to imagine that for someone like Road Kamelot, another win like this here tonight would be vital for someone like her. Now you look at both of these two women in the ring right now. Let's get it on. This is your main event for Lioness Live 26. It is the Futamaki Ninja Asuka taking on Road Kamelot. Let's get it on. And it's like I was saying beforehand in regards to this one, Road Kamelot, the woman who has been on a variable hot streak ever since she came back into the Lioness division, especially this past season. One could argue after spending an entire season away, well, after spending an entire season on the back burner, I would argue, one would have to argue that she is wanting to make sure that the statement of intent is clear. And not even getting a 1 against Asuka here tonight in your in your main event here tonight. That alone, I would argue, would be a sign that Asuka is going to have her work cut out for her in this matchup here tonight. But Asuka, on the other hand, showcasing that despite everything, she is still one of the strongest members of the division, lifting up Road and planting her down like it was nothing. And keeping the momentum going with that standing, rebounding up the ropes and standing with the frog splash right there on to Road, utilizing her high flying experience right there, but Road focusing her harder hitting strikes just like that and continuing to wear down on Asuka just like that. Now Road continuing to wear down on Asuka just like that. And wearing down on the legs, a very smart move right there by Road Kamelot. Most of the offense that Asuka provides comes down to the legs, but as we're seeing right here and now, a lot of it also comes from her arms as well. Right there. Road setting it up right there. Snapdragon suplex, bridging it into the pin. Only netting it 2, however. And a strike on the way down by Asuka. Does not get the drop kick in place, but no! Slamming down Road for good measure as well. And now Road in trouble, and a spear right there by Asuka. Asuka pulling out moves that we have not seen from her before, and I will definitely say this for certain. Asuka is proving here tonight while she cannot be understated, and a Spanish fly right there from the top of the rope. 1. Only a 1? Are you kidding me? And Asuka, on the other hand, going right back onto the assault. Going right back onto the assault, trying to keep Road Kamelot down. One has to wonder, however, how long that is going to last with that one. Road appears to be in trouble here. And this is the thing now. You've got to take into account the fact that Asuka, no splash in the pool right there for Asuka. Going over the top rope and getting nothing for her troubles. I was gonna say, there is a reason why you do not doubt Asuka in regards to that. The Futamaki Ninja has basically made a name for herself off being one of the harder hitting and higher flying members of the division. And we are seeing that agility in play right now as she goes and she hits that sliced bread right there on. And now going up top for the secret ninja art moon stomp. 1, 2, 3, no! The combination right there of the assault and then the moon stomp does not get the win for Asuka. And now Asuka going back to the well, trying to wear down on Road Kamelot. Both women, masters of foot stomps in their respective fields. Road Kamelot with the Dream Ender, Asuka with the secret ninja art moon stomp. I would argue that either of these two women have very dangerous foot stomps right there, and we're seeing it in play. And we're seeing it now! Dreamender hits the target right there onto Asuka. 2. No! Only getting a 2 right there for us as Asuka kicks out. And Road is pissed. Road Kamelot is absolutely pissed off. And honestly, I do not blame her with that one. Going for the Snapdragon again. Going for the Snapdragon again, and now wearing down on the skull of Asuka in regards to that one. Road Kamelot continuing to maintain the advantage in this match however she can. Knowing that she cannot make that same mistake, she cannot try and use that same tactic that she did back at Shoot Your Shot, which caused the commotion in the first place. And the face smash right there, right onto Asuka, says it all, really. And now Road trying to wear down with the surfboard stretch just like that. Asuka looks to be in a bind with that one there, but no. Asuka getting out of it. Road unable to keep her in that position for too long. Asuka, on the other hand, focusing hard on the strikes, and Road is in the corner. It is not looking good right for her. Going up top again. And Asuka getting the velocity and barreling her with a forearm smash just like that. Now Asuka going up top. Elbow drop right there from the top. Now Asuka maintaining the advantage right here and now, throwing Road Kamelot around like it was nothing. And now sending Road right into the ring again. Asuka keeping the advantage in her sights just like that, like it was nothing. Now throwing her into the corner, throwing Road into the corner now. And wait a minute, what is Asuka thinking here? Dragon sleepering her off the ropes just like that, using the turnbuckle to her advantage just like that. But Road, no. Asuka and Road trading shot for shot just like that at this point of the match. And no! Oh! And Road Kamelot continuing to keep the pressure onto Asuka, punching her in the chest and now choking her out right there into the turnbuckle corner. And Asuka is not looking good. She's taken a fair brunt and a fair chunk of damage at this point here. And a third Snapdragon suplex for a third time too. Only a 2 count. Only a 2 count this time. And continuing to wear her down with the kicks just like that. And setting her up. Asuka on the other hand going for a slice spread right into the corner. And if she hits this moonstop, it may be over! That's it! That has to be it! Secret Ninja Art moonstop number 2 of the night! 2! 3! No! A second Ninja Art moonstop does not win the matchup here tonight. Are you kidding me here? What on earth does Asuka have to do to take down Road? Road, however, despite everything, is still keeping up the damage right here against Asuka. And Asuka planting down Road Kamelot again. This is where things get a little bit interesting here. This is where you gotta start thinking to yourself, what on earth you gotta do here to keep it down? And Road! Asuka taunted for one single moment, and that single moment might have cost her dearly. Because now Road has her in her sights, and she's setting it up. No! Taunted her for the Dream Ender, only giving her a super kick. Petty as usual, this Road Kamelot playing around with her opponent there. And another super kick. But Asuka's had enough of being played around with. She's saying, if you're not going to end it, I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to end it myself. But Road, no. Road, on the other hand, saying, okay, fine. Dream Ender. But not going for the pin. And wait a minute, pin. 1, 2. And Road stopped the pin herself, setting up Asuka again. And a third Dream Ender right there onto Asuka. Okay, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. 2, 3. You know what? You can say what you want about Road Kamelot playing with her opponents in this matter, but she once again dominated here tonight against a variable legend of the Lioness division. And by God, if she keeps this up going into Hellbound, we may very well be looking at the next SolarStar champion.